哟，大家好，我是小马。我一直特别想看 Tenet， 但是呢，英国网上14号之后才会上，中国呢已经上了，我等不及，直接翻墙去看。Let's go!
So, last night we watched Tenet.
A long film, wasn't it?
It was very long, but it did not feel like a long film to me. We've watched other films that are over 2 hours.
Yeah, and the drag.
I just feel like I don't want to watch them anymore. Finish the rest tomorrow.
Yeah.
But this one I actually wanted to watch the whole thing in one sitting.
It's kind of your spy movie with an unbelievable amount of extra depth.
James Bond-esque.
But it was more science fiction.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on. I found it quite hard to follow.
It almost felt like a Shakespearean play you have to study. Your brain really working for that 2.5 hours.
懂了没？懂了。你确定吗？
Yeah.
Overall, absolutely ate that up. I love that type of film.
Eat it up.
Yeah, I ate it up. What's your take on the film?
I love fantasy movies, so for me that was just hitting all the marks. I love the imagination is running free, and I love the complexity of it.
The storyline, my god, I don't think I've ever seen anything like it in my life.
Neither.
The beginning of it, more conventional than I expected it to be. And then suddenly stuff started happening.
And you're just like, whoa.
What's gone on there? And then I think we stopped it a couple of times, didn't we? And I had to get some help from you.
Yeah,
what
you
just
had
happened?
to stop and go, wait. And I was like, oh, God. I had to explain it to you.
Yeah. Can you imagine them writing the script and explain it to the actors?
I think you just have to be like, look, listen, trust me, okay? Just do this.
Yeah.
I don't think the actors even understood.
But that'd be Walter. One important point, the soundtrack. And I would imagine that if we didn't have subtitles, we probably would have missed an awful lot. There were bits like something was happening towards the end, and there was this weird noise going on.
It just felt like the post-production wasn't completed.
Like they were talking and he had the mask on, right?
I didn't find that hard.
No, but because we had subtitles, that's what I'm saying.
I think you're just like, hard of hearing or something.
That's the thing.
Shar. At the beginning in the opera, where the terrorist thing happens. Well, hang on. The protagonist, I forget his name. Did he even have a name? Did somebody unshoot him or something?
What?
Did he get shot at the beginning?
No.
I remember.
No.
Yeah.
So what plot points or scenes leave an impression on you?
Theta was holding his wife, speaking from a microphone and saying what from the other side was being said.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of Ocean's 11 sort of thing.
Yeah, that was really cool.
The car chase. That was amazing. In the car is Sator holding his wife, Cat. Not his wife's cat.
His wife.
His wife, Cat, hostage. And he's going to shoot her, isn't he? I didn't really understand what happened there.
What it was,
What was it?
when we first see that bit,
Yeah.
we see it in normal time. They tried to retrieve the
Artifact.
algorithm from that middle car that they boxed off. Right?
Yeah.
But then what happens is you see the inverse car coming, but that's in the future coming back to us.
Right.
So what that is you know when
In
he...
reverse.
Inverse.
It was also it driving in reverse.
Inverse.
It was in inverse.
Inverse, yeah.
You know, the way that the fighting scenes were filmed, where the antagonist was actually fighting with himself, that was really clever. How did they film that?
That was amazing. Surely it's CGI, I think.
I watched something that it was like the actors were just acting it out.
But no, it was
But they were
choreographed. That takes a lot of effort and time and practice.
Yeah. I remember when she said, oh, there was a woman leaving the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she actually went back and that was her, it's just like,
I
whoa!
just watched the video explaining all the timelines.
Wow, so that's
Yes.
going to have like a big following, people like trying to decipher
Oh yeah,
the
there's
details.
loads of videos about it. You could write down
Literal.
You could literally write down pages of notes trying to make the film make sense.
I like that. It just made me kind of think about it, but in a fun way rather than
It's
a...
sort of like active spectatorship.
Remember when she getting ready to kill him, putting the suntan lotion on the floor and then washing it? I was thinking, what is she doing?
Oh yeah, I was like, why?
Why is she doing that? Like, so that to drag him down, I thought that was like, I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah, that was quite funny. My favourite scene is probably the ending. I really like the idea of they split the thing in 3 ways and then they all go their separate ways, bury it. That just reminded me of almost like Doctor Who or something cool, like about time travel.
With the last scene, I had one question. So Neil was going back, the protagonist was crying, obviously he thought that's the end and he'll die. I didn't quite get that bit.
The Neil that we see at the end
Yeah.
isn't actually the last Neil.
Yeah.
The last Neil that we see is the one that dies
gets
just before.
shot.
They did that really well in that film. How they, if you look at each character, you're watching a different film, sort of.
Yeah,
Like if you,
yeah, from a different perspective.
but we're only carried with the protagonist's perspective. We only see what he sees.
You super smart.
There's a theory going around that, you know, Kat's son grows up to be Neil because they have the same hairstyle and stuff.
I
So
can
that
see
would be
that.
like a
Yeah,
loop.
I could see that.
because you know Kat's son's name is Max, but the way they spelt it, not Maximilian like million the number, but Lien, Maximilian. If you inverse it, the last 4 letters spells Neil. But I think that's a bit of a reach.
If he's thought through all of these clever bits, then maybe that is something for those people that are there.
Maybe.
It's confusing and tiring. I'm tired.
头疼了没？
头疼。我们再说中文吧。但是我不知道这些怎么说。Time travel 中文怎么说？
时间
旅游。我很喜欢时间旅游。If I could 时空旅行, I would go and see my dad again.
Oh.
I'd want to spend some more time with him. But the only thing for me that didn't make sense was why would you have to kill everyone? You could just go further back in time and change things right at the beginning when we
that makes sense.
Started ruining the planet. And also the grandfather paradox. If you do kill your grandfather in the past, there's no way you could be existing in the future.
Well, not necessarily. You could be in a different timeline.
But it just shows you the complexity of time travel. So many books have been written, so many movies have been done about time travel.
There's a lot of different... It's not a very conventional time travel sort of plot where you just zap instantly into the back in time. I quite like that because I haven't really seen any other film or anything do that.
Could you live for 4 years in the universe?
Especially not just through 2020. Imagine.
I wouldn't know to relive 2020. I mean, I know you're very young, but would you want to go back in time?
Well, that's a big question because by going back in time, you're creating like 3 new versions of yourself living simultaneously.
That's one of the reasons I can't see how this could ever be allowed. Not just yours, but you'll be affecting a lot of other people's lives as well. Do you think that's possible to be invented though?
I do think so.
You're very far.
Very far. But what if it's something to do with dark matter?
Max has been watching his Dark Materials.
Yeah,
that's
but
why.
you don't know.
Be dark matter talking to
Yeah, but we don't know.
Have you watched 12 Monkeys? That is a similar concept where people go back and forth in time.
Really?
Yeah, we should rewatch that now that we've seen the 10th.
What about techniques?
So technically, I think the sets were just amazing.
It looked beautiful, yeah.
From the sort of brutalist Soviet
I really
opera.
liked the editing style because it was a circular... When you got to the end of the film, you realised that film goes forwards, but then it also goes backwards at the same time. Well, really well.
The turnstiles.
The cinematography was A class. It was very good, A star.
The colours of the movie, I thought
Yeah, it
were
was
really amazing.
quite contrasty.
The muted colours also remind you of that gloom and doom that we are ruining the planet, so that's helping the atmosphere to say, oh, the future is bleak.
So deep, Mum, you're so deep. Oh, they used film to shoot the movie rather than digital cameras.
Oh, well maybe that's why it looked
the
a bit
colours
different.
probably, yeah.
Oh, how interesting.
A lot of cinemas in the UK were actually using the film instead of the digital projector.
I'd love to see it in a film.
I'd
There's
love
just something nostalgic about
Probably
it.
different, yeah. Reminds me of Cinema Paradiso.
Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking that.
好电影，坏电影，多少分儿？
Buffer.
8 分儿。 Quite
I
low.
was quite interested, but then there was just a few bits that,
Hard to watch.
yeah. But I think 8 is pretty good.
I gave it an 8.5 or a 9. It's just up my street.
Up your street?
Yeah, this film is up my street. It's everything I like in a film. Then do you have to ruffle through that right now?
No.
别忘了大家点赞、关注、留个评论。Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave some more films that we can review. See you guys. Bye bye.
How many points would you give?
Well, should I mark it sort of 1 and then it's an inverse? I'm going to give it 9. Yeah, could save the future.
I mean, I don't know. At the time, it's like...
And the whale, save the whale as well.
Max, I'm going backwards.